Woohoo! We are live. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to my live. I am so excited to be here today. And also, I am so thrilled that we are here because the doors to Insecure to In Demand close tonight. This is my signature 12-week group coaching program created for introverts that is closing tonight. This is the last chance you have to join this program. And I'm here today to basically lay everything out and answer all the questions that have been in my DMs. So if you have questions about the program, drop them in the question section. I'll be happy to answer them throughout this live. But I cannot tell you just how amazing this program is. I'm the biggest fangirl of this program, and I've created a lot of programs. But the reason this specific program is so close to my heart and it is so valuable for me is because it addresses the main blockages that us introverts have when we're trying to build a personal brand, when we're trying to show up online. Because everyone talks about build your personal brand, show up online, either the social media tactics, do this and do that. No one really talks about what it takes internally to overcome that hurdle that's keeping you stuck. And this is the main place where most of us shy, anxious introverts, those who are private people, those who are quiet people, those who have been in the background for a long time. For us, stepping into the limelight, stepping into the spotlight like this, for us is not easy. If someone says, hey, just start creating content, well, okay, it's easy for you to say, but there is a lot happening on the inside, in the back end, for us to even start taking that step towards coming online and towards being visible. And this takes a lot of addressing of internal patterns. It takes a lot of dislodging of core beliefs that we have, of how we feel about ourselves. The self-doubt and negative self-talk is coming from a certain place. So unless we take care of that, we're not going to be able to show up online for the world to see. Then no matter what strategy you put in place, then no matter what you do in terms of the visibility tactics, they're not going to work because they're not designed to help you work from the inside out. And that's exactly why this program was created. Now, again, I'm going to say this, the doors to this program close tonight. So if you would like to enroll, the link is in my bio. So what I'm going to do throughout this live is I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about the program. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at the program already, or if you have questions about it, I'm just going to answer the basic FAQs that I've been getting so that you can have a good idea. So first of all, this was specifically created for introverts. However, if you are someone who's experiencing internal barriers, if you are someone who's having trouble showing up online, whether it's because you have imposter syndrome and feeling like you don't belong in the online space, whether you're terrified of using your real name online, whether you're feeling like you don't know enough or that you're not skilled enough, or you feel as if you need to learn more before you show up online, or if you feel super anxious and you're feeling extremely insecure when you're showing up online because it's bringing a lot of fears up, all of this really tells you that you need to be in this program. Even if you don't identify as an introvert per se, if you are feeling these feelings, if you have these emotions when the thought of visibility comes up, or when the thought of showing up online comes up, this is the program that you need to be in, and you belong in this space. So this is what it was created for someone who wants to be visible, but they're finding themselves not being able to be visible. And a lot of this is also lack of clarity. If you don't really know what to even show up as, or what to talk about, or what to even do, or don't even know where to start with content, or how to even navigate this online space, or how to own this space as an introvert, and how to gain recognition and gain authority and gain influence like a lot of people have, this is the place that you need to be, because this addresses all of it. And what makes this program special is that we're covering everything from the inside out. So the process goes from the internal work to the foundational work to the external work. So the internal work starts with the internal deep digging that we have to do. The foundational work is what is actually needed for you to show up online. And the external part is the actual strategies, the tangible steps that you take so that you can gain visibility. Now, this program is a 12-week group coaching program. meaning this has a group capacity. There are going to be other people in this program. And the way this is going to work is that there'll be a pre-recorded curriculum for everyone to watch. Every single week, one module is going to be released. You will do the work for 1 week and then progress week after week after week for 8 weeks. The last 4 weeks are going to be dedicated to actual execution. My eyes are going to be on your page. You're going to be applying everything that you learn. And this program covers everything that you may need to work from the inside out. And if you are facing insecurities, if you are facing fears or blockages or internal hurdles, this specific community, this specific program is going to be ideal for you. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what the modules are going to be. Apologies, I'm going to be reading off the screen here. So please don't mind if I look here. So as I said, there's going to be a total of 8 modules, okay? The first module, as I said, we're working from the inside out here, is going to be dedicated to diving into your internal self, your deep root self. So we're going to the root of your insecurities and your fears, and we're going to work on conquering them, overcoming them. Because unless you know what the issues are, you're not going to be able to overcome them. And the thing is that a lot of times we are afraid of going to this place because it brings up a lot of uncomfortable feelings, but we're going to do the hard work. We're going to go to this place so that you can dislodge whatever is there. That's module number 1. Module number 2 is when we're going to start clarifying. This is where people talk about finding your purpose, your higher purpose and what you're meant to do. The idea over here is to identify exactly what direction you should be going in. What is your higher mission? What direction do you want to take with this entire experience? If you do show up online, what do you want to do? Who are you going to show up as? What do you want to contribute to the world? This is where the clarification comes in. So all the mess that might be inside your mind, all of these fuzzy, swirling feelings that feels like a mess, they're going to start getting clarified because we're going to start putting words to everything that you're feeling. Okay, that's module number 2. Module number 3, we're going to actually start identifying your potential. So we are going to start mapping out what your real strengths and talents and abilities are and what you should be focusing on. Because if you don't know what you should be focusing on, you won't be able to direct your personal brand, your online presence towards this specific thing. So this is when we start really mapping out, laying things out and say, okay, where are we going to start from and what are we going to be focusing on? And this is where your real strengths are going to shine. Okay, that's module 3. Module 4 is when we start the foundational process of building your personal brand. This is where all of the building blocks are going to be laid out. Everything from finding your niche to finding your audience to putting in place everything that's needed for you to start focusing on building a personal brand and an online presence. Because until you have these things in place, it's going to be hard to build upon them. So we're going to start laying all of this out so that you can actually build upon this foundation that you're going to lay out. Okay? And this is going to serve as the foundation of everything that you do. And here's the thing. Everything that I'm describing to you right now, it's a repeatable process. This is a proven, repeatable process. So let's say you go through this entire process that we're talking about, and then a year later you say, you know what, I've evolved as a person. I want to do something different now. You will always be able to come back to this process, be able to repeat this process so that you arrive at what you really feel right now and what you want to do. Okay? So module number 4, we just covered. Module 5 is actually going to be articulation and communication. This is where we're going to really find what your voice is. What is your tone of voice? What are you trying to convey? How do you come off as the person that you're really trying to be? Your authentic, confident self. What is that going to be? Okay, this is where you discover your personal tone of voice and what is signature to you. And this is something that is going to help you really, really shine when you speak to the audience, because you're going to know how you're coming across. Because the way we sound inside our head and the way we actually communicate to the audience are 2 very different things. Because if you don't have experience in communicating with the public, for example, especially on a platform like this, it's going to seem very intimidating. So in this module, we cover that. We cover the communication and the tone of voice. Okay. Next, module 6. This is when we actually start crafting and tailoring your messaging. And messaging basically is how you communicate with the audience. This is where you understand what do they need to hear from you for them to identify you as the person you want to be known as, right? This is where you really take a look at, okay, I'm trying to talk to this person. This is who I am. How do I communicate this message? What are the words? What do I need to say? So this puts the actual audience in the forefront and your delivery to them. Okay. And this is going to really make showing up extremely easy for you, because it's no longer going to feel as if you don't know what to say. It's going to get quite clear, because by this time you've done all of the clarification from the inside out, and you're getting to a point where now it's just delivery to the audience. Okay. Module number 7 is the fun part, which is content. Module 7 is when we work on the content strategy for influence and authority. And this is when you are really going to learn what impactful content is. This is where you're going to learn what kind of content builds credibility. And here's the thing about good content, okay? An emphasis on good. Good content is psychological in nature. Good content is something that makes people stop the scroll and think, because you kind of get inside their head, because it makes them think, oh, she knows me so well, or he knows me so well. Like, I never realized there was someone else who felt my pain like this. And that is what good content does. So in this module number 7, we're going to really work on your content strategy, so you know what impactful content is and how to create it. Okay. And the last module, which is module 8, which is leveraging social media for success. This will be your visibility driver. Now, the content is going to be your IP, which is your intellectual property and what you create. But visibility is not just content. Visibility is also how you navigate online, how you build relationships, how you network online, right? So it's going to take the fear out of networking, the big networking word, and also put you in front of people who need to see you. So this is where understanding exactly how to get in front of people comes in, understanding how to interact with others, maybe in your field, the peers around you, those who are authorities in the same space. This is really going to help you thrive. Okay. And by the end of this, not only will you know exactly how to be visible, you'll know exactly what your main blockages are and what fears are coming up. Because by this time, there will be such a level of clarity that you have. It's going to be building slowly, slowly, slowly. So by the time you get to this point, you have everything mapped out. And that's going to take the ambiguity and the messiness out of the experience of showing up online. And the last 4 weeks, as I mentioned before, are going to be dedicated to applying everything that you learn. So everything that you work on week by week, when you're in it, after a while, you're going to zoom out and say, okay, I've learned everything. I've mapped out everything. Now, how am I going to apply this? This is where being in the program is extremely beneficial, because you're going to be in a community of other introverts as well who are going through the same thing. Plus, my eyes are on your page, so you have my support as you're going through the program. I've had clients before who've actually shown me the content that they're creating just to get feedback, or they've asked me if they're doing this right, or if they're in the right direction, or how they're doing. This is the kind of feedback that you get in this specific program. Now, I've told you about all the modules that are going to be in the program, but let me tell you about the components that are going to be in the program. So first of all, as I mentioned, there'll be this core curriculum. This, all that I mentioned to you, all of it is going to be pre-recorded videos along with worksheets and everything to go with that. So every single module is going to have multiple videos in them, and one module is going to be released every single week. So that is a core curriculum that you're going to be having access to in this program. And the second thing is bi-weekly group coaching calls. So every other week, there will be a coaching call happening in a group capacity where you can ask your question anywhere that you're stuck. And if you can't make the call, you can send in the question. And if there's time, we're going to address it, right? So this is the time where people start learning from each other. So one thing I really like about group calls is that if you don't want to ask some question, or if you're feeling awkward about it, or if you're feeling a bit insecure about asking it, someone else might ask it, and you're going to get to learn from them. And someone else might ask someone else you may not even have thought about. And because of that, you get to learn something that you may not even have thought was a blockage for you. And that's why this is a massive advantage. So we're going to have bi-weekly group coaching calls. So within the 12 weeks, there will be 6 coaching calls happening. Next, there will be a huge vault of worksheets, resources, templates, roadmaps that are dedicated to help you along your journey. So as I mentioned, every single module will have some worksheets as well. But on top of that, as needed, there will be resources to help you along the way. And this is something that has helped me as well. So I will be presenting that to you also. As I mentioned, there's also a group, and this will be in the form of an exclusive Facebook group. So there's a members only Facebook group for the people who are in this program. And most of these people are introverts who are on the same path as you. And here's the thing, all of these introverts are skilled. They're skilled, talented, very high level individuals who are now ready to get seen in the online space. So you're going to be in great company. There is zero judgment. We're all here to support you. And we're going to also keep each other accountable. That's also a big thing in this program, is to make sure that you stay accountable and are really, really making progress. Okay. Next thing is lifetime access. All of this that I'm describing to you right now, you're going to have lifetime access to. So the membership is never going to lapse per se, right? So you'll always be able to come back to the videos. You'll be always able to come back to the call replays. You'll be able to come back to everything in the program. And this is not going to lapse. You have access to this forever. Okay. And this is going to be very helpful to you. Next is a bonus. Along with everything that I have just described now, you're going to have monthly masterclasses, and these masterclasses are going to be focused on confidence and introverts. So anything that falls under this specific realm, whether it's showing up with confidence on camera, or how to build specific relationships, there'll be one focused topic every single month where I'll be conducting a live masterclass, which is completely complimentary for the group members to join. And they'll have lifetime access to that as well because they are in the group. So all of this is going to be hosted in there. So you have access to all of this for lifetime access along with the curriculum. And I cannot tell you just how valuable this is, because I wish I had this when I first started. I'm basically giving you everything that I have created and the process that I use for all of my high ticket 4-figure clients, so that you can have that same visibility that you deserve, basically, right? And if you'd like to get an exclusive bonus on top of this, please reach out to me in the DMs. It's a very exclusive secret bonus that only people in the DMs and email are getting. So if you would like to avail that, please reach out to me there. But quite frankly, this program is something that is very dear to my heart. And if you've seen any of my content, any of my material, any of my programs, I can very easily say that this has been one of the most valuable ones, because it solves the most imperative problem that introverts have. If you feel an internal blockage, if you feel as if you're stuck, if you feel as if you can't make a move because there is something very internal that's stopping you, this is the program that you need to be in. And I do not say this lightly. I don't say this lightly at all, because I've built my personal brand. I know the hurdles. I've been there. I know exactly where the pitfalls are, but also I've helped my clients build their personal brand. And one thing that people don't address enough is what happens when you're actually ready to show up. You have the intellect, you have the skill, you have everything. You have all of the ingredients that you need in order to show up as the expert or the authority that you want to be. But if you're not going to that place and really, really addressing what is keeping you stuck, you won't be able to show up. Because if you're very honest with yourself, you've been thinking about showing up online for a long time. This is not news, right? And I'm not saying anything radical to you. I'm not saying something that's outrageous, but you've been thinking about creating content, or you've been thinking about showing up in some way or the other. You've been thinking about getting visible. You've been thinking about getting attention online. but there's some barrier right there. And I can tell you personally from my own story that it took me months from the moment that I started feeling very discontented to the point where I said, I cannot wait anymore. I just need to take the leap. It took literal months. And those months for me were agony. And even when I did start showing up and started using my real name, there was so much anxiety, there was so much fear, there's just so much angst when I started showing up because everything was still so dicey and everything felt so overwhelming and anxiety ridden for me. And I'm a shy, anxious introvert myself, so I know exactly what it takes and the feelings that all of my clients are going through. It feels indescribable. It feels as if you don't deserve to be here. It feels as if I'm so unrecognized, I'm so invisible, who would even listen to me? But at the same time, you see other influencers when you're doom scrolling and you think, this is so easy. I could do that and I could probably do it better than them. But the other side of your brain is saying, why would anyone listen to you? What makes you so special? Why do you deserve to be online? But if you look at yourself and your skills, you are talented. You're very skilled and you know this, right? You know that, you're very good at what you do and you're extremely talented in your own space, but we've overthought ourselves into doing nothing. We've overthought ourselves to a point where we are frozen in place and we can't make any kind of move, either here or here. But we have the awareness, right? We are very self-aware of this fact that we are terrified of showing up online. But what are we doing about it? That's the question. And that's where this program comes in. When you are frozen in place, when you have overthought yourself into a funk, when you've overthought yourself into thinking that I have no idea what to do here because there's just so much to do, there's an overwhelming amount of information, and you're second guessing yourself into oblivion, this is where this program comes in, because it's going to help you actually take the tangible steps in order to show up online. And more than that, it's going to clarify the mess that's inside. It's going to clarify all of the messy, big, swirling feelings that we don't really have words to. It's going to start clarifying exactly what you want to do and how you should do it and what is the path. Because if you don't have any of that working from the inside out, you will not be able to take that final step when you show up online, because then you're going to be like a deer in headlights. Then showing up online is even more intimidating because it's like, okay, I post, but now what? I don't know what to do about this. This is intimidating on a whole other level. And if you are an introvert, if you are someone who is on the quiet side, or you're shy, or you're a private person, and you're not someone who overshares about their personal life, and that's not the kind of personal brand you want, and you just want to be recognized as an authority or the go-to figure in your field, the go-to expert, this is what this program helps you do, because it doesn't build your brand or your online presence based on your personal life. It really takes a look at your strengths and puts you in a position to help other people, because what some people don't recognize is that your online presence is not a vanity project. It's not so that you can appease your ego. It's not about that. It's so that it puts you in a position so you can help other people with the gifts that you have. But if we're not aware of the gifts, if we're getting in our own way in terms of sharing the gifts, if we have this narrative that's constantly going, that is self-defeatist and self-doubting ourselves and constantly in a negative spiral, you will not be able to help other people, because you have to lift yourself up first. You have to address that first. So this is where Insecure to In Demand comes in. And I really hope that if you have been listening, that this resonates with you on some level and you feel as if that this can help you, because I can assure you it has helped me. This is my own process, my proven process that I have created. And this is the same process that I use for all of my high ticket 4-figure clients. And I can assure you that they have gone on to achieve phenomenal things. One of my clients just landed a massive sponsorship collaboration with Nordstrom Men's Shop, which is a big name in retail, and he's a style coach. One of my clients was able to get a standing yearly speaking gig with Harvard, the university. Now, these are just some examples, but there are so many. And if you want to take a look at what's possible, just go to the link in my bio. You'll see tons and tons of examples of my clients who have made it and what is possible. But this is only possible if you take the leap, if you really, really just decide and commit to showing up and doing the work that is possible so that you can start showing up and start getting seen and recognized by the world. Because here's the thing, you might be the most talented person on earth. Okay, you might be the most amazing person to ever exist. But if the world doesn't see you, no one knows. No one knows you have this amazing talent. And worse than that, you can't help anyone because they don't know that you're there. So there are people out there who desperately need you, who desperately want to be around you, who desperately need your specific help. But because you haven't made yourself known, because you haven't shown up online, because you're terrified of posting with your real name, or you're like terrified of posting publicly, all of that is keeping you stuck. So we're going to help you start showing up and dislodge that fear of showing up publicly, all of that negative self-talk and all the self-doubt that's keeping you stuck, so that you can start shining and showing up online for the people who need to see you. And with this, you're going to be able to build influence, you're going to build authority, you're going to build recognition, you're going to build your personal brand that's going to get you known as the go-to in your field. And this is going to happen from the inside out. And before you know it, you're going to feel so confident in the way you show up because there'll be so much conviction. There's one example of my client Ginger, who when she came to me had lack of clarity, had lack of understanding, and felt a lot of insecurities. But today, she has a massive online business. She has over 75,000 followers. She has a huge community and networks online effortlessly because it's so easy for her now, because she's so aligned and she's so clear and everything just is so perfectly just smooth, right? It just feels very, very right. So all of this and more is possible for you. There is no reason why this is not possible for you. And I really, really want this for you as well. I don't want you to think like a couple of months from now or a year from now, wishing that I wish I had done it. I wish I had just taken the leap. I wish I had that support. I wish I had someone to hold my hand. That's why I'm here. This is my entire mission. My entire mission, my entire purpose is to help introverts feel seen and heard. And this is something that I am very dedicated to because I know the pain firsthand. I know that pain on a cellular level, on a very, very primal, visceral level. I get it. I get that existential fear. I get it. So this is why I'm here to help you. This is why I created this. And if you are an introvert, if you have been feeling stuck and terrified of showing up online, I assure you that this is the program for you. So if this program calls to you, I really urge you to sign up. Today is the last day to sign up for this program. If you are interested, sign up through the link in my bio. And if from everything that I've said, if you are feeling confused or if you have questions about it, please feel free to DM me or send me an email. Actually, just DM me since I'm already here. Send me a DM with any questions that you have. I am on standby in my DMs answering questions all day. So I'll be happy to assist you and even guide you on whether this is the right plan for you or not, if it's the right program for you or not. I've had clients who have been interested and I've said, no, this may not be the right program for you because it doesn't fit. It feels like your needs are different. So please feel free to ask me questions if you want to. It's perfectly okay. But you need to make a decision soon because doors to this program, Insecure to In Demand, are closing tonight. Okay. If you would like to sign up, please go to the link in bio right now so you can secure your spot because enrollment is going to be shut after this. But having said that, if you have been listening to this live, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Whether you're an introvert or extrovert or someone who really strives to show up online, I really want to let you know that I'm in your corner. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support your visibility, your journey, your confidence, because I really want you to thrive and I want you to shine and you deserve it. Okay, so on that note, I really hope that I see you in the program. The doors are open, but only until tonight. Doors are closing tonight, once again, okay? If you have questions, send me a DM today only, because enrollment is shut after this. And if you have questions about it, reach out to me. But other than that, my friend, I will see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.